Hello, everyone. I thought it might be good to do a video to kind of ramble on about how I think divination works and what it's good for, and touch on some ethical concerns and some philosophical concerns as I see them. Why talk about that stuff? Well, I think it's a great way to feel me out remotely and see what I'm about. I think it's a great way for me to grow by having to ponder these things and explain these things for an audience. I think it's good for me as well. So let's just talk about in general, like what's going on when you get a reading of any type. For me as a reader, my ego has to be put to the side. I really am trying to be a conduit for messages for your highest good, no matter how that happens. And I know how to do several different types of readings. So I really gotta just be a messenger and not put my stuff in there. I think in general, we are all spiritually connected, and that it is possible for me to be a mirror for you, for me, not just me, but any reader, to be getting information from the universe, from your spiritual team, from their own background knowledge that you need to hear at a particular time. I think that ultimately that means that you, as the person getting a reading, have all the power and control of that situation. On a spiritual level, you've chosen to get a message in a different kind of way, not like a regular way, like from a friend or a family member just telling you something. I think ultimately all the information is just about the individual, but the individual spirit, not so much the individual ego. So it's always about that unique spark that is part of the overall big soul body that is all of us together as a collective. So I think you're getting information specific to you kind of through this spiritual network. I think the only reason we're here on this earthly plane is to learn lessons and have experiences for our spiritual growth. And that can happen in just a humongous variety of ways. So what works for you or a message for you wouldn't work for me as an individual, wouldn't work for that other person or that other person. It's very specific to you. And you are having an experience of kind of talking to yourself in a spiritual sense, even if there's another person who is a reader. So with that in mind, I think that readings can be really helpful to get some clarity or to look at a situation in a new way or a little bit different way, slightly different way. And it may help you see kind of around corners, like maybe this is coming up for me, and you can be a little bit more prepared for those experiences coming at you. So that's what I think is the usefulness of it. Some ethical concerns is that messages should always be for someone's highest good. And to tell you the truth, my ego is not up to the task to evaluate what those are. So I kind of just have to be clear and let those messages flow. But I do have to be concerned with kindness and consideration and compassion for other people. In my youth, I think I was way too abrupt, and yeah, so, you know, there are so many ways to convey the same information. And so you can't ever go wrong with kindness. Okay. So that's some ethical concerns. It's also kind of gets drilled down to a one-on-one relationship with someone else. There's me and then there's somebody else. And the same approach isn't appropriate for every two individuals, right? Like I'm always the same. I'm living here and doing the reading, but I might be doing reading for a variety of different people. I think it's important to meet people where they're at as far as how you give messages, even what messages you're passing along. I recently did a reading session for elders, elderly folks, and it was an amazing opportunity for me because, you know, towards the end of life, there's so much ground in the background of their lives that they could confirm for me, right? Like I could say, well, it looks like you did this or that, or you're good at this or that, and they could confirm if that's true or not. So it's really great that way. I wasn't spending much time in my readings about their love lives and more about their family lives. I wasn't so much concerned about their career matters. I was more concerned about their health matters, those kind of things. So you have to adjust. It just depends on who's in front of you. And I don't think making adjustments in consideration of the type of person that is in front of you is fudging the message. You know what I mean? Like it's not messing it up or changing it radically or anything like that. It's still being respectful of the message, but making it the most relevant for them. So let me just quickly kind of go through different kind of readings I do and like how they work, if they work any differently than what I just said. Okay. Oh, before I do that, I should say, why would I be a reader? What's the point in being a reader for readers? Well, I'm talented at doing readings, and I really think that if you're talented at anything, you kind of have a call on your life to share that with other people. That you weren't, even in a spiritual sense, meant to just keep that to yourself. That you've got to kind of display, express, share that talent with others. So anyway, different kind of readings. Probably the reading that I am most talented at is palm readings. And first of all, just very quickly, my divination skills are heirloom skills taught to me by my mother and grandmother. And they started teaching me when I was very young, like 4 or 5 years old. So I have a lot of experience with different kinds of divination. So anyway, palmistry is kind of my biggest skill, strongest skill. And palmistry is really best for like the whole life, you know, like your whole life events, your personality. It's not so good at drilling down to specifics that are going to happen like today, this week, even this month. Even the year, our current year, is hard to nail down completely. It's more like decade lumps or even 5-year lumps that you can kind of see what's going on. But it is a dead ringer for personality traits, talents, challenges, like things you're not good at. It's really great for that. So if you just want to get to know yourself better and want some kind of big, broad strokes about future and everything, palmistry is the thing for you. I also am really good at reading cards, both tarot, and I have a few oracle cards that I love, and I know the system of them. And with card readings, I think card readings are way better at specific information that is more timely, like right now, like now, today, next week, this month, you know, things like that. That is what is great for card readings. And then the way both palm readings and card readings work for me is that I have a lot of background knowledge of how it works kind of mechanically, and like memorized a lot of meanings, like this means this, that means that. And I start in that mode. And then while I'm doing a reading, I might get other psychic hits through a variety of clairs. So my primary clairs are clairvoyant and clairsentience. Clairaudience has really come up a lot more recently as well. So I just let those things kind of flow. I mean, of course, kindness is always most important. So, but I will just be like, well, it looks like, you know, you like to climb trees, or, you know, like whatever it is. Or you're going to have car trouble next week, or, you know, like whatever comes to mind, on top of, over and above, like the knowledge-based system that I'm doing. So that's how it works for those two. I also do astrological charts, and those are, again, those are very kind of knowledge-based and kind of mechanical, and, you know, I'm just preparing this information and conveying it to you. And my astrological knowledge is pretty vast. So it's nice to make use of that. I get the least amount of kind of psychic hits while I do an astrological reading. Astrological readings are, again, like palmistry, great for knowing about your personality and kind of the broad strokes of happenings in your life. And there's just so much out there that's automated, like with apps and websites, that I struggle to make it like a unique offering from me to you. And so I've been playing around a lot about giving people more information about retrogrades in their birth charts and Chiron. So lastly, I am medium. I'm a medium and can connect to the other side for you. This is my most recent skill, developed in adulthood and not in childhood like my other divination skills. And it's quite different, but also similar. I think that I have to let my ego go even more than I do for divination readings when doing mediumship readings. That I have to trust a lot more, that I have to let fly a lot more about the messages that are coming through for the other person. And to kind of share that experience with a reader, I've done sketches. I kind of sketch what I see for them and then share that with them. I was really inspired by the work of Joe. Oh no, I'm forgetting his last name, but he does very wonderful artistic portraits in pencil when he does mediumship reading. So I'm not a trained artist. I'm not a amateur artist. I mean, I am. I love art and I do draw and paint and craft and stuff, but I don't have an ego about that. I'm not like really super talented. I'm really super not talented at drawing people, and that's mostly what I'm doing with mediumship. So, but I just give it a shot. It helps bring in that connection to draw someone. And I just be really in a space of gratitude and grace when I do mediumship readings. It's kind of like I'm amazed along with you that these messages are coming through and that I am saying or drawing what I am. I'm forming a stronger, more direct relationship because of mediumship readings with my spiritual team, which my spiritual team is my relationship with God, angels, spirit guides, ancestors, all of them. And I'm really getting to know them individually and you know, their roles, like they each have a different role. Okay, so some are more present or active when I do a mediumship reading than others. So mediumship readings, I think, take a lot of energy for me to do, like spiritual energy. And so, I mean, I couldn't do it at a metaphysical fair or I don't think a big event or party or something. I think I would, just even thinking about that is overwhelming. I think it's more better for one-on-one and honestly less frequently occurring kind of reading. So that one is a kind of a special case. For all the other ones, I really shine with doing like big groups, a corporate event, a party, you know, that kind of thing. I have quite a bit of experience doing that, and I really shine, and I really am good at, you know, I'm still doing one-on-one readings, but doing them briefly and sequentially and having a lot of different people in front of me, you know, like at a fair or whatever. And I really enjoy it. So anyway, it's still, I still think, even for a group situation, I still think spiritually it's working the same way. That my spiritual team, especially, and the person's spiritual team are in cahoots. They are collaborating to bring the person that is sitting for the reading or receiving the reading the best possible message for their highest good. And it's really a message initiated by that individual, even if it's subconsciously or unconsciously, that they're like, I really want someone to tell me this. I would say that there's really nothing I say to anyone that they don't already know if they really just listened to themselves. Seriously. So I also am really passionate about teaching kids, because I was taught as a kid, and I'm teaching my own kids, and I would love to figure out ways to help kids develop their psychic skills. And so I'm working on it. All right, well, that's a little bit about me and my perspective and how I think readings work and why I think anyone should get a reading or not. And I hope you have a blessed day. Thanks for watching this all the way through. Have a great day. Bye.